Chapter 1 Traveling Home May 26, 2024. I travel back to my home province. I don't know how long I haven't been home. It might have been about a year and a half or more. I'm not really sure. Luckily, my home is not far from Bangkok. It takes about 2 hours to get there by van from Moshit. Although it's not difficult to travel. I don't really want to go home. There is not much for me to do. I'm trying to think of what should I do when I get home this time, but the more I look at the scenery along the way, the more depressing it's become. In my area, when it gets dark, I get it completely quiet by 10 p.m. The villagers have all closed their house and gone to bed. Personally, I don't like quiet things. It makes me think of things that in my life and the past that I don't want to remember. Here, I think it's too damn quiet. It's so quiet that it's depressing. I remember the last time I went home, it was around 3 a.m. That when the silence started to get to me, it forced me to dwell on my pilot stop over and over and over again. It stressed me out a lot of that time. When I had to go home this time, I knew it would be the same as before. But my ego, I thought I had enough immunity. I thought I could handle the silence. Damn. But damn it. That's not it. I'm still haunted by my past at 3 a.m. Chapter 2 Mysterious Spaceship. My grandmother once told me a very surreal story about my neighborhood when I was studying in Bangkok. I think I was in my second year. Suddenly, a large blue spaceship landed in the middle of the football field of a temple school nearby my house. No one knew where it came from or what it was doing. All they knew was that it suddenly appeared without any warning. It caused a great panic among the villagers, so much so that the monk in the area had to chant to ward off evil spirits. However, some people believe it was a good omen, to the point that people brought offering to it every morning and evening. The strange thing was that after several weeks, it was still here, showing no sign of doing anything. And as usual, the villager and various agencies who were curious about it suddenly stopped paying attention. People have to make a living, and if it doesn't help them get rich, people won't buy it. My grandmother said, and after that, no one saw the spaceship again. My grandmother also said that ever since the spaceship disappeared, things around here have been changing. For example, my father used to be someone who wasn't interested in mechanic work, but then my dad started to collecting tools. He renovated the kitchen into the tool storage room. The interior was like something out of the horror movie. No one around here knows that there is anything strange. They always live like this, my grandmother said. Although I don't know how true the whole story is, I'm pretty sure I feel the same way with my grandmother. Maybe it's because of the spaceship that make me feel alienated from this place. How should I put it? I just feel like this place isn't my place anymore. Chapter 3 Clinging to the Yellow Rope. May 27, 2024. I woke up at 3:30 a.m. I don't know why, but suddenly I dream about a friend whom I haven't contacted in a long time. I met Win when I was in my third year. Win studied communication art at Chulalongkorn University, while I studied science at Mahidol University. Maybe because we were the only two kids in the village who had the chance to study at university, we became close quite quickly. Normally, he and I would go home together. When we were home, we would have friends who could speak the same language. There was a time when he had ordained as a monk. In a way, that 20-year-old men like to do, so he asked me to stay with him at the temple. Actually, I wasn't really used to him being bald, wearing orange robe, and chanting 3 times a day like this. It didn't look like him anymore. Didn't you say you would, Auden? I asked while sitting and smoking in front of the temple main Buddha statue. I don't want to either, but if I do, my friend will stop pestering me. I'm annoyed. But damn, do you know when I saw my hair falling out of my head, clump by clump, I cry. I studied hard to get good grade until my mental health was about to collapse. But my parents never said they were as proud of me as when I became a monk, he replied. A week later, he dissolved. A few days later, he rode his motorbike to my house and showed me a blue cover book. He said it was a list of the guest name and the amount of money they put in envelope for his ordination. Everything seemed normal until open a page. The whole page was full of spiral pattern that I didn't understand. My family account book and even my old family photo album had this symbol written all over them. Win said. That evening, we searched for information about this symbol but couldn't find anything, so we decided to go home and never mention it again. Chapter 4 The Shadow of Death, May 28, 2024. I woke up at 3:30 am. I don't know why I dreamed about Win again. Suddenly, it reminded me of one of Win's story. Win said that in the village, there used to be a rumor about dark shadow that often appear around the spirit house. If the dark shadow was at spirit house, someone would die in that house. It was similar to the old and black cat. At first, it was just a joke in card game, but when people in the village start dying one by one, no one seemed to laugh at the joke. But that didn't mean no one tried to do anything. Somehow put up sign to ward off bad luck. Some rob a sacred thread up around the spirit house. Some closed their house and went to bed at 10 p.m. As for Win House, his father hired my father to build a new fence and plant a lot of trees in the house. I don't know if it helped, but to be honest, I just found out that my father is also a mechanic. But never mind, that's not the point. Then one night around 10 p.m., I think, at the time, Win must have been stressed about his short film, so he came out to breathe air in front of the house. That was when he encountered the dark shadow as a room in the village. At first, I thought it. I thought he would run away, but no. From what I heard, he didn't seem afraid of the dark shadow at all. He slowly approached and greeted in friendly manner. I don't know. I don't understand what he was thinking at the time, but that made he knew that behind the dark shadow were 2 men in black suits. One was wearing sunglasses, collecting samples of red water from bottle of spirit house, while the other playing with a stray dog. At the time, I couldn't say anything. I just stood there, dumbfounded, until the man holding the bottle of red water took some kind of device from his pocket. Then boom, bright flash. I couldn't see anything. My ears were ringing. I realized that I was really in the bed in the morning, Win said. After he told me this story, the rumor about the eyeshadow seemed to have to be completely erased from the memory of everyone in the village. Chapter 5 Strange God, May 29, 2024. I woke up at 3:30 am and dreamed about Win again. Even though it was a dream, it was a dream that had come true before. Win came home a month before me. For personal reason, he just said that he had urgent business, so I didn't ask him anymore. When it was time for me to go home, I didn't travel long, but it finished packing my thing, taking a shower, and changing clothes around 11 p.m. 20 minutes later, Win called me to find him at the playground in the village. I had nothing to do, so I decided to go out. When I was there, I saw him wearing strange clothes that I had never seen before on the right. I stood there quietly observing him and trying to look up the sky, but I saw nothing but cloud and the moon. I couldn't stand my curiosity anymore, so I slowly walked away and nudged him from behind, which startled him a little. Last week, around midnight, I tried to turn on my old TV at home and I scrolled to channel. It was a general product sale program, but for some reason, I didn't want to change the channel. I just want to keep watching this to the point where I knew it. I had already called to order these glasses. Do you believe that I can't even remember anything? Win said. To tell the truth, I know that many things have been strange lately, both the villain and him. But I never thought that Win would be this unconscious. I tried to ask him about out of concern, but he tried to divert the subject and asked me to try on this card. I couldn't stand it anymore, so I did as he asked, but I didn't say anything as I expect. You can call me delusional, but when I wore them, they made me see the truth of everything in my life. From for when my father was going to shoot me when I found out, I was secretly watching gay porn, to when my family tried to contact alien. Actually, it was just a stupid movie from someone who hate their hometown family at the core. That all, Vin said. Even though I didn't really understand what he was talking about, I still listened to him talk as someone ordered me to do it. Chapter 6, The Gerard Bridge. May 30, 2024. I woke up with a start at 3:30 a.m., dreaming of wind and sat hugging my knee and crying quietly in my room alone. In fact, I had already given to find the answer why I was still dreaming about him, even though we hadn't been in touch for a long time. During the last semester of my fourth year, when I didn't talk much like before, I didn't know why. I just woke up one morning and didn't feel like I want to talk to anyone, including him. And I think he felt the same way. So we both slowly let this relationship wither and die slowly without anyone thinking of doing anything. When the semester ended, I went home for a while. Out of nowhere, Win called me and told me go to find him at the dangerous bit. Maybe because we hadn't talked for a long time, it felt like really awkward when we actually met. But I believe in our inseparable relationship. So after talking for a while, we became close again. That right? The night we talk about everything openly, and if the world was going to end tomorrow. But it's good that made us understand each other. But then suddenly I stopped talking. I asked something and it didn't answer. It made the atmosphere feel awkward again. At the time, I felt so disappointed that I thought to myself everything we talk about would make us understand each other better, but it wasn't like that at all. No matter how openly we talk, in the end, I still didn't understand what it was doing. But it's good that it should have noticed the dissatisfaction on my face. It moved closer and made a gesture as it was going to say something. Say whatever the hell you want to say, I shouted at him and now, but I feel guilty when I saw it clearly so flowing. It turned to not and darkness that I didn't understand before, slowly planning as if someone given permission to talk. I it told me that he had to go find film director so that I could ask him what he should do next with my life. And adding to that, clearly he has often heard his name being called from this bridge. He made me think that maybe this was the right time to help him find the answer of life. I know it sounds like crazy, but when I first heard it, I was so sad. They did not win, I used to know. Now he's just a guy with glasses who thinks he's a character in movie and is about going to journey to find the director to help find a way out of it. Like, you jerk, we haven't talked for a long time. What a problem made you become like this? But to be honest, even though it sounds incredibly unbelievable, I don't know why I could feel it from the first sentence that he was telling the truth. In the situation, there were so many things on my mind, but I don't know why I couldn't say a word, and I didn't want uh, and I want to hug him for a long time and pray in my heart that he would find what he was looking for. Then I watched him slowly take off his clothes piece by piece until the body was naked and slowly disappear into the darkness on the other side of the bridge. And when I couldn't feel his presence, I decided to go home. I had to forget everything that happened to force myself to sleep at 3:30 a.m. And deep down, I hoped that he would be happy, even though we would never see each other again. Chapter 7: The End. May 31, 2024. I woke up with a start at 9:15 at my desk, perhaps because of fatigue from not sleeping for many days in a row. I accidentally let myself fall asleep like someone who did not get enough rest. When I woke up, I stretched lazily, rubbed my eye a little, and slowly forced myself to get up and take a shower. Hopefully, it would help me feel refreshed. Then I slowly brought myself back to sit at the same desk every day. I sat there without focusing on the clock. Before I knew it, I had let time pass by regretfully. I don't know how long I have been staring the laptop screen on the deck that I had purposed should be located by window. The reason was nothing more than to help distract myself from my work and life problem. But even so, it didn't help much. But I hope people can think of work to find some solution to life problem. Just starting out of window alone, I don't think it would be help. If it were a self-development psychology book, it would probably tell me to go rest my brain to do relaxing. But for me, if I count the number of cigarettes that I gradually disappear from the pack, it would be probably easy to get the answer. But when I need a cigarette the most, like now, I left only the M3 trace, and then was no effect of nicotine to support my heart. I couldn't squeeze any idea of my brain. How can I say without romanticizing cigarettes? But for me, nicotine make my head run fast in an incredible way. The more it worked, the more easily my thought, dream, memory, and hidden pain were dug out, as if could be my shake on the real erase. But when it didn't work, my decision making was completely ruined, leading the confusion about value of what I'm doing. I've been thinking myself for a while about the ending of the whole story. In one way, I thought that an ambiguous ending was enough, but in another way, I want to tell one more story, something that would shake your emotion so much, like I want to hug my knee and cry for months. So the question arose my mind, which is either dying before finishing writing or finishing writing and then die later. I was upset with this question for a day until I couldn't sleep. I secretly thought to myself that if Win was still alive, what would he gonna do? And that made me think back to when Win commits suicide on the dangerous bit every time. But when I try to think carefully, the whole story in this movie didn't have to end sadly, because in the real world, where I was the director and you were the audience, Win, my close friend, had gave up in his faith in making movie in heartbreaking way. He was left with only the script that wasn't even finished. As for me, as a storyteller, I think there is nothing sadder than seeing someone with such strong passion decide to give up everything he's ever dreamed of, disappear into direction from which he can turn back.